Hey guys, welcome to Consume the Goodness. My name is Kendra. I'm a certified lifestyle and weight management coach, and this channel combines God's word with healthy lifestyle. So today I want to talk about today's video is going to be a little bit different, kind of like an update, kind of just catching people up. A few people have asked me about what I talked about a couple of videos ago, so I just want to go over that a little bit and give the full picture. Also, I am praying that you guys are encouraged through this video. So anybody who is going through something or struggles with something, whether it's been just recently or for their entire lives or most of their lives or whatever, I'm praying that this is encouraging to you. So what I was talking about a couple videos ago with the fundraiser and medical issues and everything, I will just kind of start from the beginning. When I was 13, I started passing out, and there was just a lot of like going to the hospital and nobody really knowing what was wrong. It was just like, oh, that's normal for somebody that age, or she needs to drink more water, or she didn't eat enough in that time at the beginning of the day. There was always something that I pretty much was just hooked up to IVs and then sent home. Nobody ever really knew. Then I was diagnosed with a few things under the dysautonomia umbrella, which are POTS, inappropriate sinus tachycardia, and neurocardiogenic syncope. And after tons of medications and adjusting things and all kinds of stuff, and nothing ever helped, I was pretty much told that you just have to focus on lifestyle changes. So do anything you can to avoid it. Try not to be in really hot places and try not to be super stressed out. And if you feel like you're going down, try to get to the floor slowly so you don't fall. That was the extent of my, making it better. So life with that, when I was younger, was like kind of limiting. I couldn't play basketball anymore, couldn't play volleyball. I would try, but not able to actually finish out any season. Missing things that really aren't important, but like dances and proms and homecoming, stuff like that. School was a lot different. I was learning at home. A teacher from school would come and teach me. So, a lot of it was a little bit different. And then as an adult, being a parent, it was different. And then being a wife and a parent, I carried a ton of guilt because I couldn't do it as much. So my husband had to pretty much pick up my slack and did it so in the best kind of way, because there was never any complaining or anger or like all of a sudden he's in a bad mood because I started to cook and then I couldn't do it. So he comes home and comes home from working all day and then gets the kids in wherever they need to be, whatever they need to be doing, and finishes dinner and then makes sure all the showers are done and is taking care of me and the meals and cleaning up. And it was just something that he did. He never complained about it. So that's something that worked through, like working through guilt, a lot of guilt, and like really down on myself, like, gosh, you are just a failure as a mom and a wife. And that's just what I thought for years. And then like slowly, finally coming out of that, really coming out of that now. But okay, that's a little bit of the background of it. So then I have like bad days, days where the symptoms are all the regular symptoms, all day symptoms were like dizziness and lightheaded, shortness of breath, like walking through the house holding on to the walls, and nauseous, often not being able to break down certain foods, and we couldn't go do anything in the summertime really because being out in the heat, definitely I was going down, or if it was humid or even just a warm day sometimes, standing for too long, sitting for too long, all of these things, that's just like the regular daily crappy stuff, and extreme fatigue. So that's just the regular day stuff. But then I had like worse days, like really bad days where I actually would pass out, or where my symptoms would be way increased, or just worse days. Well, what I was talking about a couple videos ago was somewhere around a month, maybe a month and a half ago. That was probably the absolute worst that my passing out stuff, the dysautonomia stuff, has ever been ever. It was bad, and then it built worse, and it was really, really, really bad. Like, it was bad, and I kind of explained it in that video like 2 videos ago. And I asked for prayer for myself, which I don't ever do. It may, for whatever reason, makes me uncomfortable or whatever, so learning to not feel bad about asking for prayer for myself. But I did, and then that led to a fundraiser being started because there's someone who people knew who works in like applied nutritional pharmacology, and I'm basically learning my body, and this woman would be able to help me learn my body and to get, take care of all these things and take care of my gut, and because it's all connected. So So this fundraiser was started to get me supplies that I would need, like a juicer and things like that, and then also to get the vegetables that I would need, and then also the meat and bones and things like that I would need to successfully do this. Okay, so in this I'm learning how to nourish my body, properly nourish my body for my specific issues. All the stuff that I was just listing, I'm learning to nourish my body for those things, to not have those issues anymore. So I started this like 2 weeks ago. This is kind of an update video, but there's still an actual encouraging message in here, so bear with me, you guys. And I know that some of you guys have been wanting an update video, so this is kind of that too, for those of you who've been asking for it. Okay, so we've been writing down on the refrigerator the things that we've been noticing so far. I've only been doing this for like 2 weeks. So in the first like 2 weeks, less dizziness. I still have some less dizziness, so more sturdy. I can actually stand up without wobbling around or holding onto a wall. I can take a shower with zero help, which is amazing, because a lot of times I would always have to have help. I'd be holding onto the walls, or my husband would have to like help finish the shower or dry me off because I couldn't do it anymore, and then like basically carry me to the bed because I was going down. I can keep going after an activity, so if we play a game or if we actually are doing something, I can stand up and keep going throughout the rest of the day, which normally it's like one little thing that we did and that was it. So we had to plan it, everything we did. I mean, even just sitting playing a board game, because I'm sitting for a while, so that I was done after that for the day. Couldn't do dinner, no cleaning, nothing else. Pitiful. I can cook every day and still keep going. So I've been able to cook every single day, twice a day actually, most days. And I can finish cooking the entire meal without somebody else having to take over. And I'm still going. I'm still able to do other things. I have like I really don't have shortness of breath anymore. I'm actually talking, and I'm gonna be doing a lot less cutting out in this video, because normally when I'm cutting a bunch of parts out, it's because I'm cutting out my deep breaths, and I haven't had to do that.
It just ran downstairs and ran back upstairs.
Yeah, I had to go downstairs to get this off the refrigerator, and I just came right back. I wasn't like, I didn't fall downstairs. It's amazing. Oh yeah, I haven't done that. That's good. I've done that a few times. My fingers going completely white. So like in the winter time, or just actually any time, I'm cold all the time, or I'm actually like hot sometimes. Right now I'm pretty toasty. I'm so used to wearing a hoodie all the time because I'm always cold, and now I don't need to do that anymore, I'm noticing. But my fingers would go white because I didn't have any circulation, and that isn't really a thing anymore. Sometimes it's happened a few times, but not as much as my finger, like not my entire hand basically, and it lasts a lot, like a shorter time. It's easier to get up in the morning. Before I would just lay in bed for sometimes like an hour, just laying there because I'm so tired, and so I can get up a little bit easier now. I can talk for longer without really bad symptoms. Normally when I talk, like talking on the phone with people or just talking, after a certain amount of time my lips would start to go numb and I would start to get really dizzy and see purple spots everywhere, and it was just really bad. And now I can actually talk and I don't feel that anymore. I can eat steak. I can actually eat steak without, so since the digestion part, actually breaking food down, was a really huge issue for me. Anytime that we had steak, which I love by the way, I would be like, every time, yeah, at the table, like eating, finishing the meal and just going down. So then my husband would have to like come over and help me stand up and kind of like help me walk upstairs so I don't fall. And then he would have to take care of everything else again, cleaning it up and everything. I have way less joint pain. My hips, I haven't really had any hip pain at all, or in my knees when I go up and down the stairs, when I bend down, doing anything like that, it doesn't hurt. I can just do it, and it's weird because it doesn't hurt and I'm so used to it hurting. Oh, I haven't been spacing out, so I used to just space out. Like I would just even in the middle of talking, would just be very confused, feel confused, and just foggy, have no clue what's going on, and just kind of stand there spacey. And he's always like, please stop trying to act normal. Like you don't look normal at all. You're completely spaced out, focusing, trying to look normal, and you don't. I haven't done that. And I've noticed all of these things come back pretty quickly when I don't have the electrolyte water that I've been making, which the electrolyte water that I've been drinking the most is one with cucumber and celery and water, butyrate and salt. And that has really helped a lot with all of these things that I just said. When I don't have it, because we ran out of vegetables, and the time between running out and being able to get to the store, it was so crazy how quickly all of these things came back. Like, I got up a flight of stairs and I was like holding on, had to sit down. And there was a time that I turned to talk to somebody and I had to hold on to the walls and I was super dizzy, and I'm like, I don't miss this at all. For the most part, those things are totally gone. They still come back sometimes. I still feel them sometimes, but it's because I'm still learning. I'm still learning my body. I'm still learning how to, like, where my good spot is with my blood pressure and my pulse and my blood sugars. So I still have some ways to go, but there are definitely improvements so far. But all of this is a learning process, and this is where the encouragement part comes in, because no matter what anyone is going through, whether it's something similar to my situation or something completely different, something with money or a business or family issues, like anything at all, what we're going through is always some type of process. And it's a process. This is how I see it anyway, that everything we go through is a process somehow. It's a learning process. We haven't experienced something before and we go through a process of how to get through it. And I've been learning a lot in these past just couple weeks how to really quiet my mind and process the process, like be processing what I'm going through. And it's really helping me steady myself and learn a lot more and really observe the improvements and where I still need to improve. And that's why I think that this is something that it can be applied to all of us in any area of our lives, because we're all going through something, and it's a process. Whatever it is that we're going through, it is a process. Even changing a diaper is a process. And maybe the first time you do it, you suck at it, and then you don't anymore because you pay attention. It's like, okay, well, when I did it this way the first time, it was still bad. Maybe this is a bad analogy. You know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, but when we're mindful and actually processing the process that we're going through, we can get so much more out of it. And I've been through plenty of things just like all of you guys have, and I've done it without being as mindful, without really processing like I am now, paying as much attention as I am now to what I'm going through. I've done it, but not to this extent. And I'm learning that taking time to slow down and be really thinking about and noticing every little thing in the process of whatever it is, whatever issue or situation it is that you're going through, there's a big lesson in patience there. I have tons of patience with everybody else, but not with myself. And this is really helping teach me to be patient with myself, because the whole process is about me, like what I'm doing right now. I'm eating the food that I'm eating and the everything.
Gosh, somebody told you that years ago.
Yeah.
Huh.
I know.
Yeah.
And I always, and I know, I feel so bad for you. Funny. Finally, things are clicking. Things that people have told me a long time ago. Things that people have told me months ago. I'm sure there are people watching this right now like, yep, I'm one of those people who told you something, and I'm just slow to getting it. Like, I feel like, okay, yeah, I'm doing this. I'm really applying it. And then I'm not. And I'm realizing now I really wasn't fully applying the stuff that I was learning. I really wasn't fully applying the advice that I was getting, or really just taking the time to take advice. Like, I take advice well. I'm not offended easily. I don't take it as like they don't think that I'm doing something right and they're wrong. That's not how I am at all. But something that I am is way too fast. This is teaching me to actually, when I do get advice, I'm slowing myself down to actually like let it marinate basically, and I'm really thinking on it and asking myself questions and writing a lot of things down, which I love journaling anyway, but it's different now because I'm making myself slow down. Because after what happened like a month or so ago and my medical stuff got to the worst it's ever been, I had to slow down. I was like really forcing myself and telling myself, okay, you really have to slow down on everything that you're doing because this is getting really, really bad. So I'm glad that happened, as you know, it wasn't like the most comfortable thing in the world, and it wasn't like, oh, this is fun. But I'm glad it happened because it did teach me something. It like forced me to slow down. And I needed that because I'm not one to really slow down. I want to just keep going and going and going. And if I get hurt, then I want to like not rest as long as I need to. If I'm sick, I don't want to fully get well before I start doing stuff again. And which I could barely even do anyway because I was fumbling all over the place, passing out. But this is helping me be more patient with myself. So if you are somebody who is like that, like me, that is also super helpful to really just stop and slow yourself down, slow your thoughts down, have some completely just quiet time and take in everything that's happening, really process what you're going through and see what can be done, where improvements can be made, things like that. And the journaling things, this reminds me of the February challenge. I don't know if any of you guys are doing this. I hope that you are, but logging what you're eating and what you're drinking and your physical activity and how you felt that day. All of those things are always helpful. In the years that I've coached people, I've never known someone to say, writing this stuff down doesn't help me, because it is helpful. It helps you actually see with your own eyes what you're doing, and it helps you realize what you're doing, and that when you're looking at it, you can see where improvements need to be made. I am noticing that journaling is helping me see where I've improved and also where I still need work, and I definitely do still have a lot of improvements to make. But I like this because I can see where it's bad, and I can see, and I'm learning what I need to do to get it out of the bad places and how to bounce back if I do get to a bad spot. But I think that that's good to do in our lives, period. Not just journaling what we're eating, but journaling everything, because it does help us see what's going on. So journaling is helping a lot. Journaling helps in this, what I'm doing right now with the applied nutritional pharmacology stuff that I'm learning and applying. The journaling is helping me see how far I've come, all the stuff that I listed off, and it's really making me realize how far I need to go and how much work I still have to do. And I'm not going to let that discourage me. And whatever you guys might be going through, I am praying that you do the same thing, that if you really stop and just take time to process what you're going through and you realize, oh my gosh, I still have so far to go. I still have, like, it's going to be a while before this situation is actually better or resolved or whatever. I'm praying that you guys are encouraged here to not be discouraged in that moment if you realize that I still have quite a ways to go. Use it as fuel, use it as a reason to be even more driven to keep going, to get to the other side of, you know, whatever you're working through. And that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be keeping you guys updated. And I want to thank everybody who did this, every single person who had any part in this, and I mean any little part, whether it was an idea or time going towards setting things up or praying, being supportive, like anything at all across the board, it is all the same to us. We don't look at it like, oh, well, whoever spent the most money or whoever thought of it in the first place, those are the people who are that we're the most appreciative. No, this is everyone exactly the same, because it all ties in together. Your prayers, I've said this so many times, that praying is like the best thing that somebody can do to someone, because you're lifting somebody up to Jesus. Like that is just so meaningful. So the praying, the support, the like, oh my gosh, this is so awesome, I love that this is happening, or this is so cool to see, or whatever. Even those words, every single one of you guys, I just appreciate you all exactly the same, equally. And I love all of you. And I don't just say, oh, I love you guys because I think it sounds good. I really do, because you guys are our family in Christ. You are our brothers and sisters in Christ. So I do love you, and I appreciate you guys, everything. Is this weird for you? It is weird. Like, this is kind of weird to stand up and not be falling over.
It's weird. The downstairs is cleaning. I didn't do it.
Yeah, I mean, like, taking it slow. I haven't gone completely nuts, which is improvement, because normally I'd be like, oh my gosh, I feel a little bit better. I'm gonna clean the entire house top to bottom, like deep cleaning every little crack and crevice and everything. Yeah. I'm like pacing myself, trying to take it slow and checking all my vitals throughout the day to see, okay, now I'm starting to feel really hot. My hands are starting to swell. Let me check my blood sugar and see what it is. And then, oh, it's a little bit too high right now. So then learning, what do I need to do? Thank you, Kristen, for everything, by the way. Oh yeah, that's something else. This was just yesterday. I vacuumed yesterday for the first time in like
years.
I can't believe it. And it's like, gosh, is this kind of sad that I'm so excited that I vacuumed? I didn't even vacuum like an entire room. I just used the attachment and vacuumed some shelves and stuff. But it's still exciting. And the day before that, I cleaned. And then I was still able to cook something later for dinner.
And take a shower.
Yeah. And I normally wouldn't be able to do that. It would be like, oh, I tried to clean something, so I would have to like skip a shower, or at least not wash my hair if I took a shower, and I would need help, and I would need help walking to the bed. I feel like I'm starting to feel normal. It's weird, but I like it. And I still feel like I'm not fully there yet, where I can just do whatever and everything's fine. I'm not there yet, but I do believe that I will be there. And the improvements that have happened just in the past couple weeks, it's just awesome. It just keeps me more excited to keep learning and keep putting the work in to learn this stuff and actually apply it and keep trying and trial and error. And I'm not doing everything right. My first sauerkraut attempt was terrible. It smelled like a dead possum on the side of the road, crawled into the mason jar and just like hung out for a while. And it was so stinky. And it was pretty funny though. Like, we laughed about it. You guys probably know by now after watching these videos, and those of you who know me on a more personal level than just watching these videos, that I laugh at myself at everything. Like, we laugh at my passing out even, because it's kind of funny. Like, I'm perfectly fine, and then I'm like, and then I'm done. So we make jokes about it. I'm good at laughing at myself, and you guys should be too. It really does. I mean, things are funny. It's better than being depressed about it. But I messed that up, but I'm just excited. It just made me like, okay, that's fine, because next time. So we got another head of cabbage, and now I know that I shouldn't have had it up as high, and that's probably why it was so nasty. So the next round, I'm sure will be fine. And I made chicken broth, and I either didn't leave it there long enough, or maybe it was the quality of the chicken, because I don't know. But it didn't gel like it should have, or like, I was wanting it to. But I'm like, okay, well, I'll just try again. Like, I'm just gonna keep trying until I get it. And then when I get it, I'll know this is how I need to do it. And that's what I'm doing with my eating and my everything, actually. But knowing that you still have a long way to go, please don't use that in any situation as something to put you down or make you feel like, gosh, I don't even want to do this anymore because look how far I have to go. When I check my temperature every morning, it's low. So I know there's something wrong with my thyroid. The stuff that I feel every day, I know that there's something wrong with my adrenal glands, and I still deal with it. And I know that it's going to take a little while to keep learning and applying and get things right before I don't have these thyroid and adrenal issues, and before I can get my blood pressure and pulse and blood sugars and everything balanced and exactly know where it needs to be. And it's going to take work, but I know that it will be worth it. And I know that I'm feeling that all of you guys, because I don't really do the social media thing, but for whatever reason at the beginning of the year last year, I got on Telegram, and then I got into getting in the Word with Pastor Stewart, and that helped so much with my Bible knowledge, like really learning and growing in Christ. And then I met a lot of you guys there, and I know that I kept feeling like, gosh, there's there must be some reason, because why would I be on here? I don't like the social media thing. I just don't really like it. And I kept thinking, well, there must be some reason. And then I would meet someone and meet someone else and meet more people and be like, this must be why, because I never would have crossed paths with this person. Like, this is where this friendship is starting. But now I feel like it is all of those things. I don't think it's just one particular thing, this or that. But the people that I've met and the friendships that have been made, and then this fundraiser starting, like, completely life-changing. Like, actually life-changing. Not just me, for our entire family. Like, I can do more with the kids now and teach them to cook things now, which I've been like, oh, I want to do that, but I couldn't stand there over the stove teaching them because of the heat, and then I would start to pass out. Now I actually can. Trying not to. Also keep in mind that whatever situation you're going through, if it's really hard, that God knows what he's doing and he'll make good of it, and he has a purpose for you and for your life, and whatever you're going through must be part of it. I know that me having these medical issues for all these years of my life were for some reason, and I know that it's a lot of who I am. Like, a lot of who I am comes from the struggles that I've gone through, just like everybody else. A lot of what makes us who we are is because of the crap that we have gone through and what we've overcome and what we learned in the hard times and all those things. So I just pray that you guys keep that in mind while you're going through this, whatever it is that you're going through, that, okay, this sucks right now, but God knows what he's doing. And I trust him, and it's going to be good. And it might take years, it might take 21 years before something happens, but he knows what he's doing. And I know that there's maybe this never would have happened, and I would have had those medical issues my whole life. And if that's what God wanted, then I never would have met you people, and the fundraiser never would have been started, and I never would have started talking with Kristen, and it would have happened in another way. I could go on and on talking, but I'm not going to. Have your eye. I love you guys, and I'll keep doing updates. Every video moving forward will not be an update, but I want you guys to know about the updates, because none of this would be possible if it wasn't for all of you guys, for your prayers and your just everything. God is just working in such huge ways just in this one little area of his children, and it really makes me stop and think about how, like, all over the place every day, how he does things like this, works through people and for people. And then I feel like the reason why I'm getting better now is because of whatever it is he has next for me. So now you guys get to watch to see what it is. I'm excited too. We'll find out together. You got anything you want to say?
Oh, don't make me laugh or tear up.
There's something wrong with his eye. Not that one, obviously. The other one. Looks like he's turning into a reptile. Yeah, it does. It's all red and creepy. So that's all. Don't forget to check out the links in the description for Pastor Stuart and Jennifer Guthrie at Family Bible Fellowship, and for the link for Patty Gable's 2 channels that she has, where she has awesome videos. But Pastor Stuart now does some of the Bible studies live, and Sunday services live on YouTube and on Rumble, and it's available on Telegram. So there are more ways for you to watch that. And I really recommend that you do, because it's great. It's really great. That's it. Sorry I talked so long. I don't even know if anything made sense. Did it make sense? Like, was an actual message in there? Okay. I love you guys. God bless, and hope to have you back for the next one.